Right now, there are 700,000 people locked up somewhere in the United States. And the reason is because they can't afford to buy their freedom. You heard me exactly right. As long as you have money, you can get away with anything. The justice system in Georgia favors the privileged and has taken corruption to a whole new level. You see, in Georgia, there's two tiers to the criminal justice system: offenders with money and offenders without. In my short presentation, I'll present to you up-to-date statistics, I'll give you examples, and share with you an organization that exists for the sole purpose of defending human rights. And that is the Southern Center for Human Rights. They're also called the SCHR, and they're located in Atlanta. They do the best they can to help the incarcerated victims in the Deep South to have a voice. The mission statement of the SCHR is, and I quote, "The Southern Center for Human Rights is working for equality, dignity, and justice for people impacted by the criminal legal system in the Deep South. They stand against mass incarceration, the death penalty, criminalization of poverty, and racial injustice." The criminalization of poverty is a systematic way that the criminal legal system in the United States, especially the Deep South, make money off offenders and get rich. In 1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified, as we know, which abolished slavery. Well, in that same year, okay, that was, the victory for the black people because they couldn't be slaves anymore. But then, bam, they got hit with this exception clause. And the exception clause stated, "Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction." Thus, the Jim Crow era was born. The Equal Justice Initiative report, published a report in 2013 called Convict Leasing, which taught us about what all went on. In the report, they clearly defined convict leasing as a system in which southern states leased prisoners to private railways, mines, and large plantations. This exception clause started a whole wave of unethical practices, and it was men and women from every demographic participating in this. These people even took the kids from foster homes and out of orphanages to have them perform these daunting tasks that they needed done in their businesses or their homes. And we still have those loopholes. This exception clause is still in effect today, and that's what makes it legal for these people to work people in prison and not pay them. Also, the privatization of prisons, prison health care, probation. A few statistics I wanted to share. 90% of people in the criminal justice system live below the poverty line. Okay? Every year, 600,000 people are released from incarceration across the United States. They're released to realize they've lost everything. Nowhere to go, and no system in place to assist them. I have some charts that I made right here to show you maybe how race might have something to do with this whole ordeal. Okay, so the actual demographics of race in Georgia is, okay, so we have 56% white. This is of Georgia. And 35% black. And then 9% is everybody else. Okay? The population demographics in the Georgia Department of Corrections is 59% black, 36% white. So that tells you right there we have an issue. We have a serious issue. That is nowhere near the same. So I had read a report written by Hillary Best called "Poverty is Not a Crime." And in the beginning of her report, she quotes General Robert F. Kennedy. And I wanted to read you that quote. And he said, this was in 1962. He said, "If justice is priced in the marketplace, individual liberty will be curtailed and respect for law diminished." And that speaks for itself, you know. He knew what was going on. He knew that, you know, people were taking advantage of the system. They're taking advantage of their power. I mean, who are we supposed to trust if we can't trust the people that are in control to do the right thing? If they're not going to follow the law, how can they make us pay money when we don't?